and welcome to my journey through the Milan Art Institute Mastery Program. This is the first week of part 3, which is portfolio. First week of portfolio. So this week, I guess the structure of the classes is going to start changing now. It's not going to be quite so prescribed, but over the break, she told us to make 20 sources, which I made about 30. I did like 20 sources that were kind of composite sources built in Photoshop, and then 10 sources that were idea boards. And I've put my idea boards up on the blog, but it's just sort of color palettes and ideas, and then the actual subject matter of the pose or the woman that I'll be painting, I'll just sort of pick that separately so I can kind of combine the composition and then the idea board together at the time that I make the painting. So when I did the 20 sources over the break, I thought that we were gonna just jump into portfolio with like production week. I thought we were gonna do 10 small paintings. So when I made those sources, I sort of thought of them like that. I thought, okay, there's 10 as a collection sort of together and they kind of sit together. But actually what we're doing is we're doing 2 paintings. That's it. She hasn't specified a size or anything like that. These pieces behind me are 24 inches by 24 inches-ish. And so she said, yeah, we'll do 2 paintings a week. So by week 10, you'll have 20 paintings for your portfolio kind of deal. And she said, like, don't get behind. Otherwise, you're going to really have to catch up, and that just compounds, and then you just get further and further behind. So, and she said, if you're doing 2 paintings a week and you're only doing 20 hours a week, that's 10 hours of painting, and that's actually not that much time. Like, she said that, 10 hours of painting is like bare minimum to really have a high quality finished painting. And so I've been doing just 2 days a week, and maybe that's more like 16 hours. So if I'm gonna really try and stick to it like on the week schedule, then I need to find some extra time to be able to paint, either in the evenings or at the weekends. And I'm doing a lot of craft fairs every weekend until Christmas. So yeah, the weekends may be hard, but we'll try and find some extra hours here and there. Otherwise, I guess I'll just get behind. But so I've got, these are actually wooden panels behind me that I'm gessoing, and I'm prepping a few of them at a time, just so that as we get through the weeks, if I, whatever, you batch it. And so we had a bunch of videos this week that were talking about so studio habits. So what's the professional studio habits to get into? And there was a ton, but I think that hopefully I can just pick maybe one habit to focus on. I'm not great at focusing on a lot of different habits at once. So maybe one studio habit, which I think for me is going to be tidying up my studio at the end of the day and make sure that it's ready to paint the next day. Because I usually just paint till I drop and then just leave it a mess. And then my sort of warm up in the morning is to tidy up my studio. But yeah, so there's a lot of studio habits, schedule in your painting time, set goals for what you want to paint, keep your studio clean and tidy. And then she also talked about clutter. So different kinds of clutter in your house, mental clutter, emotional clutter. And there's 30-day decluttering challenge, which she mentioned, but it's not in the textbook. So I'm going to have to find a decluttering challenge that sounds good. That's going to be hard because I'm not a minimalist, but I actually don't own that much stuff, and I live with other people, so I may have to start decluttering their stuff. What else? Okay, so the format of the portfolio section is that there's 2 other students that are from when they were doing the mastery program, like in-house, and they essentially, there's like a video for their week 1 and a video for their week 2 and a video for their week 3, and then you'll get to see those videos as you go through week 1, week 2, and 3 and stuff. And you get to see their work, and they talk about what they paint, and Ellie does a critique with them. So they get their work critiqued, and then you can kind of have a look at your own work and see, oh, those points that Ellie brought up, do I need to deal with those? So I just watched all the videos, and I'm prepping my panels. It's Saturday today, so I think what I'm going to try and do is start the paintings on Sunday and finish them by Saturday, and see how we go. All right, I will talk to you at the end of the week. Bye. Okay, I'm back, and these are my paintings. So this is the first week of portfolio, and this is what I came up with. I started with an idea board, which you can see on my blog, and then that idea board didn't have any subject matter, so it didn't have the composition in, and so, you know, depending on the aspect ratio of the canvas and stuff, I chose, I did like another source that was the subject matter and the composition. So using that method, I can kind of mix and match. And so I think when you're doing the portfolio section, you can have some different series. So as long as they can see like there's a series that goes together, another series that goes together, and there's kind of a consistency in your work, then that's really what they want to see. So I think what I have been doing in the voice section was every week I was using a different idea board and like jumping around with lots of different color palettes and ideas and experiments. And now things are kind of settling down. Like I didn't really expect these to be quite cohesive, but I've kind of gone back to the way I used to paint, and then incorporated a few of the things that I learned in the mixed media and voice into that, and sort of folded that together. And now I've kind of come up with something that's a little bit new and different, but is still in the same sort of trajectory of how I've been developing. And so I'll probably stick with the same idea board and then just choose like, you know, different compositions, working in different aspect ratios of canvases and stuff for the next few weeks. So you'll see a similar color palette and a similar sort of theme and subject matter. And then hopefully I'll have like 6 or 7 or maybe 10 pieces that are part of a series that are cohesive, that you can kind of mix and match and put them up together in your home. So this is, that's this week. And I really had no idea what was going to come out, and I quite like these. So we'll see next week. I did manage to get these done in a week, and we'll see if I can keep up the pace, especially as I go larger and larger. Because they want you to have, you know, it depends on your voice, but they want you to have maybe a third medium size paintings, a third small paintings, and then maybe a third large. So it'll be hard to kind of do the large ones really fast, but maybe if I do them towards the end, I will be faster at painting. Maybe. So, all right, stay tuned for next week. All right, bye.